Hi, everyone, and welcome to the show again. I had to oh no, buttons, you know how it goes, or not, but welcome everyone. Good to see you all. For everyone who don't know me, I'm Marcella de Bie, and I'm the host for PvP or gaming show On the Radar. Funny thing is, today I was more nervous. Is this because I have to talk with two men who are, going to tell me so many cool things that it makes me nervous? I don't know. We'll see. So let's see if there's anything you want to say today, or you want to be like, "Ooh, I want to ask this to them." Tell me. Just say it in the chat because it's more than welcome. So today, what we're going to do is the main subject is creating epic storylines for your game. We're also going to talk about storyline for citizen conflict, also blockchain games and storylines, and the game section of today is citizen conflict. Hi Cloverdale, how are you doing? So of course I can't do this alone because it's lovely to do this, but I need some help. So there we go. We're having our guest here today. Hello, man. You may get off the mute button now.
Are we live?
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
You don't have to be nervous. We are nervous also.
Then we're all nervous. Okay, that's great. Well, I was just thinking about our call just before. For everyone who missed it, we have seen Dave as a strawberry and Russ as, everything, but not a strawberry, like this. So it was great to, get the texture of things. Okay, so we're going to introduce you guys. And don't get me wrong, names are not the easiest one because we're starting with Rastislav Bakala, or also Raz. He's an entrepreneur and a visionary, boasting 10 years of experience in cooperating, banking, and brokerage. Driven by his passion for gaming, he's now a founder and CEO of a blockchain game development studio, Corpo. David Achberger, what I thought it was German, but it's not, is a brand builder with 9 years of experience in performance, digital marketing, and the stock market. His passion for gaming and fintech technologies turns his professional life towards cryptocurrencies and NFT space. So, welcome. I would say tell a little bit more about yourself, and then I'm gonna go more deeper into those in the questions.
Yeah, like you spell it really well, so I expect much worse, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, it's great to be here, guys. I'm the Ras, CEO and the founder of the Corpo Game Studio, and we are professional players and passion from the games from the very beginning, because what we believe in our company, the gaming is the next trigger for the bull market, and we believe that the high quality games and competitive games with the layer of the esports can really bring the billions of the Web2 players to the Web3 and use this amazing technology of NFTs and ownerships and bringing really back power to players, and they can finally own this asset. So this was our vision of why we create all of this stuff, and what we will be talking today about the storyline game and so. About me, I'm a former professional players. Then I got crushed and then I started working like hell and working with the investment and corporate banking with more than 10 year experience with the biggest investment banking. This helped us to fundraise, and what is the vision without the right people and investors and fundraising, so you can achieve this quality and everything without right partners. So thanks to my experience from the financial field, I was able to find right investors and build a company, and now finally we start onboarding from 2018 AA, AAA guys from the games like Arma, Stray, Overwatch. So from the financial aspect to the high quality and experienced guys from the gaming field, we founded the Corpo Game Studio, and now we are building amazing games, Citizen Conflict and Animate, and we definitely will be discuss more about this during the show.
100%.
So happy to having me.
Cool. Well, thank you. And already so much information, but we're going into this deeper. Dave, tell us a bit about you.
This is what we do all the time. We are in the interview together, and I don't know what to say after. So I will tell Russ summed up very nicely about the company, and maybe I can tell something about myself. So I got a background in digital marketing and fashion industry. I've been a CMO and CEO of a few companies, and my passion was always trading. I was first in stock market, and now I'm very heavy in the cryptocurrencies because we all know it's the future of money. So we need to be where the future is,
True.
to be future proof, and we'll see what the times will bring us. But I'm very happy to be in this company. We are building it together with an incredible team of people in an incredible country, and with our commander Russ. We are on a good track to make a best game in 2023.
Wow, sounds promising. And how did you guys enter the gaming industry?
Like it was pretty easy. We want to create a game, so we start, and that's it. Like you are you are not coming to gaming industry. Once you're born, you are already in the gaming industry. So like it's like something was really like form us whole life. You play games from the very beginning, and you don't even realize, and you are into it. So like, what is the like what is the dreamer jobs like to creating the game? This is like most creative jobs on the planet, and we love to be creative. We love to create something, and not just competitive, but really bring something new on the market, and not just Web3 and blockchain, but specific for the gaming mechanics. And we always was thinking about, okay, we can create something better like this game. So here we are. We try to do it.
Okay, and then quickly, what was or is your favorite game?
Apart
from your own.
It will be really surprising, but it's a Pokemon. I love
Wow,
Pokemon game. It was
really?
like one of my favorites from the very beginning.
Okay.
And I'm also like from the football, so I got somehow affected by the football. So of course I play all of this football manager, strategy manager, and FIFA, NHL, and all of the sports games.
Okay.
So, and of course the shooting, but like, yeah, Pokemon is the best.
Wow, I did not expect that, but quite interesting. And Dave, how did you enter the gaming industry? And of course, what's your favorite game, or was, or is?
Basically, same as Russ. We are kids of the 90s. I think I'm 92, and Russ is, I think, 91, right? So 90,
90s
so
kids.
yeah, millennials go,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, we were brought up in the era of skating, first 3D games, Pokemon, of course, Game Boy
Yeah.
Color. So
Oh, yeah.
every kid wet dream in the 90s was to make a game or to be in the gaming industry. So we try to get there as soon as possible, and now we live our dream basically, doing
Wow.
what we love.
Okay, so you guys both owned a Game Boy Color as well?
Of
I
course.
don't want to brag, but yeah, we did.
And
Game Boy Color.
which color did you guys have?
Yeah, I got a gray one.
Yellow.
I had the purple one.
I expected.
Welcome to the gang.
I even found like the little bag like a red bag where you can put all the games in, and the
Yeah.
Game Boy Color as
All
well.
the cassettes, right?
Yeah,
All
the
cassettes.
little ones, yeah. Oh, great times. I'm from the 90s, so I get the point totally. Tell us about your journey at Corpo Studios. Like, how did you start it, or how did you game into Corpo Studios?
Yeah, if I can start, we start with the paper and pen. So we draw it. We draw it on the paper. Okay, this is it. This is the big game in 2018. Then we rework it 27 times, and finally we start working on it. So it was really crazy. Like from the very beginning, in 2018, there was the bull market. Everybody was crazy that this is the Web3 gaming and fully on chain, and all of this stuff is future of the gaming. And then we saw the crash on the Axie Infinity and how the play to earn model is doesn't sustainable. So like everybody get open the eyes, and okay, so what to do, how to create like really next generation of the game. And finally everybody realized that the next generation of the games are the games itself, not the blockchain. So the journey was pretty crazy. We start go deeper into the blockchain, NFTs. We want to build not just the games, but whole gaming infrastructures. So that's why we are really heavily investing in resources into the blockchain. Blockchain engineers, all of our team is in-house. So we start working as the infrastructures, eSport infrastructures for the wallet, marketplace, and so and so. This was basically the first beginning, how to like think about the blockchain implementation inside the game and how to make really seamless onboarding for Web2 users to Web3. So we start with this. This really help us to build the infrastructures, and on top of it, then with the open eyes of the blockchain solutions, how to use it inside the game, we start creating the game. So we try to do racing game, the trading game, then we made the card game, then we built the drag race game, and so and so. And during the process, every new game was better and better and better and better. Then we cut all of the previous game and start working with AAA games with all of the experience and team. So now we're working on the Citizen Conflict and Animate.
Nice. And Dave, how did you ended up there?
Yeah, you need to call me first sometime. So.
Sorry, I'm
Dave.
I think so. No. But I like to be addition to Russ words. And what I would like to add is that exactly we went through several games. We started really small doing the indie games. Of course, we are both, and the team was mostly from trading and banking. So we thought, let's do trading game. They must be fun, right? But we figure out it isn't as fun because the trading is pretty hard, and when you want to be good at it, you need to learn a lot, and you go through a lot of hiccups on the way. So we need to randomize the game more. And when the team got bigger in the years that came, we were able to go from online games to Unity Engine. We started there because it was available, and then we went full on Unreal 5, and it was pretty hard journey to switch engines, to switch ideas. But when you take a look at all the studios that really take it somewhere, they've been testing a lot, they've been following their vision, but changing a lot during the go. So we have the similar approach. We are a pretty big team, but we are still working like a startup, basically, like startup day one. So everybody doing a lot of things. People are really trying to put the most out of them. So we are really the company is really focused, but the vibe is really you need to work hard, and everybody does because we are following the same vision. So right now, when we are showcasing the game in our area, because we are from Central Europe, basically the dev house is situated in Bratislava. That will come up in also the Citizen Conflict Showcase, which we are really proud of. You can see the companies here, or the game studios that's been here for a long time. They cannot believe that something like this is possible in our region. So we are really proud about that, and we are really happy that we can work with cutting edge technologies, to work with engine like Unreal 5, because it's not super easy. Of course, Epic made it much better during the years how they developed, so a lot more people can get into the gaming and gaming development, but it's cutting edge still, and there's a lot of work to be done. So we are really happy that we can make the games we want, not that we can make, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because in the end you want to make something, and if it's not possible, that's also hard. Like sometimes you need some extra help for it. But okay, so well, you kind of already said it, but can you tell us in a nutshell about the structure of the company and the different products that you create? You kind of said it, but maybe you can, wrap it up in a little package.
Yeah, like I will make it really simple. We have a structures for games and the infrastructures, like especially in the blockchain and all of these, like D5 technology and setting the wallets is really important to create the seamless onboarding infrastructure specific for the gamer and for the gaming needs. So basically, we create an esport platform called Corpo ID. This Corpo ID includes the wallet, marketplace. You can mint your first NFTs. You can play completely free. You can get the rewards. You can get the voting. Basically, you can do all you want. Also, check the tournament. tournaments, play the tournaments like you play in Counter-Strike. So basically, we really want, our main mission is to democratize esport, and for that purpose is this Corpo ID create, and for the second part is the game itself. So Citizen Conflict, you can imagine, is like Apex or Overwatch with a really high quality game mechanics. We want to create something really unique with the 3 teams, not the 2 teams. Then we want to create a really crazy fast movements, and again focus on the esports to bring kind of new way of the monetization to the gamifying, which is slowly dying. But we still believe that the monetization is the key aspect for the players to be in the Web3. So we try to bring the monetization, but with a sustainable model. That's why we create these infrastructures. And Citizen Conflict and Animate is something, I'm really a huge fan of the Pokemon, so you can expect big things also there.
The Pokemon is coming back every time. I love it. Okay, but something totally different. And this one is for you, Raz. You had a career in football?
I do.
Okay, a little bit. Tell us.
Yeah, no.
Like.
I love it. It helped me with to be who I am, like to be always focused, consistent, work hard, and it brings you something. I really like people who do some team sports, and everybody it's kind of, you can see it on the personality of the people. So I really like that time. It helps me to grow. Yeah, I have maybe different idea, but what I want to be, but I'm here and love it. And yeah.
Till how long have you done it? Like till what age or from what age?
Yeah, I play also the national team 21. I was also in the first Czech league, and basically till 21 I got serious injuries with the knees, and I was decided to go back to school or try hustle in second or third league. So I say, let's go work.
Well, and look where you are now. I mean, it's a whole different career, but I think you're enjoying it quite a lot. So it's fine. You had a cool career.
Quite a lot.
Exactly. And that's perfect. Like you have done something cool and now you're doing something cool. So all good. And according to you, which game has the most memorable story?
For me personally, HM. No, joking. like there is thousands of great games. Like also, like latest one was definitely Cyberpunk, which really inspired us a lot. Let's be honest. And of course, like I don't know, different game like from the shooting Halo or the Quake. And it's mostly not about the story. I'm not kind of single player player.
Yeah.
I'm rather the multiplayer. I like the actions. I like the sounds and everybody. So if it's about the single player, that is definitely the Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
This is welcome to Pokemon show. Yeah, so me went through some. I'm also more focused on multiplayer, but we take making the storyline very seriously. So I would say also Cyberpunk in this. Of course, it's mostly about the setting. The setting is real nice. We've been inspired heavily by the Cyberpunk. I'm the sci-fi fan, and the novels from 80s are the best benchmark for every futuristic sci-fi that's coming up these days. So I would say Cyberpunk for sure. It's based on a novel. The characters are really intriguing, and each part of the town got its own story. So that's something that we would like to bring in Citizen Conflict also in some way. Of course, you cannot exchange role-playing game that's heavily based around the story and the story of the characters in the multiplayer, but we do our best. Of course, we can elaborate on that in the future as we go in the interview, but each character in our game got its own story. It's heavily impacted by its bringing up, and each character got its own personality and does different things in the game, and it's a multiplayer game, so it can be done. And the lore of the game is really important for the retention of the player, so you are not just playing for some no-name soldier that's shooting around, nobody knows him, so you are not connected with the character. And what we try to do in Citizen Conflict is really to bring characters to life with a story, so players can find the parts of themselves in the characters, so they are heavily attached to them.
Okay, well, we're going to talk more about that later. Yeah, well, I was thinking as well, because obviously I also play a lot of multiplayer games, but there was one indie game that got me fully, like even crying. And I just Googled it quickly because I forgot the name. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. They have won a BAFTA Gaming Award as well for the best audio, the music in the game. It's a game of 2015, and it's from the Chinese Room and Santa Monica Studio. But that game, if you have not played it yet, it's just about like a sort of wisp you're following, and you're like seeing things that happened on that place, and it's quite it's an indie game. It's not as big as a Cyberpunk or whatsoever, or Horizon, but it gets you. So for I never play many indie games, but that game got me, and I think the story and how they use the audio is great. But there are so many. I mean, yeah, Horizon, definitely a great game. There are so many good games, but also storyline based. Because then you're like, ooh, what's happening now? Like the same with a movie, but now you're playing the game and you want to see what's happening. So definitely very important to keep you focused on the game.
Totally.
Okay, so we're going into the next thing, because we're about creating epic storylines for your game. The best game stories can capture our imagination, steal our hearts, and effectively pull us into other worlds. Well done well, they can even make a lasting impact and stay with us longer after a game is over. Well, that's exactly what a lot of games do to you, and in a good way. Why is a good storyline important for games? Well, you kind of just said it, Dave. As well, why is important? And we said it as well. It's just a part of like you want to keep on playing. So I think we can kind of skip that, but maybe Ras wants to add something to it.
Yeah, I will just add about the story. It's huge important in our game, and not just this character, but the whole story. We also start writing and working with the biggest publisher here to create the own book, and the book will be also in the end as NFTs, and these books will be split for different episodes, and our players and tester from the alpha test will be able, by playing our game and testing the game, get these NFTs, this piece of the episode for free.
Okay.
And at the end of the story, once the story will be fully written, you will get all of the NFTs, so you can connect it with the full, combine it for the one book, and it will be published here in Central Europe with the biggest publisher here, and it will be pretty nice. We definitely, even if it's multiplayer, our main goal is to really create really entertainment and amazing story with cyberpunk dystopian style, and something where we think about how the future could look like in the future. It's scary, but this is where we're heading.
Yeah. Well, it's
Exactly.
an interesting future, and I think for you guys, the perfect time to head into it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can elaborate on the story of Ether Islands. That's where the citizen conflict is happening. The concept of the game at the moment is first to start it with really the esports and tournaments at first.
Okay.
But the story comes in play, and it's really important. That's why we are releasing in episodes, let's say. It's really important for the next generation of citizen conflict that will come up after the first tournament base is released, and it's a full MMO experience where the story comes hard into the play. So that's we like to build it very thoroughly and think about what are the aspects of the world that could be also our future.
Yeah.
We really brought together things we like in sci-fi, the good, bad, and ugly
Yeah.
in the sci-fi. So we think the story, as Russ said, is one of the key features while you're playing the game that keep you interested, because you can have a good experience, but when it's there's no purpose in playing, basically, when you don't know the story, then when you don't know why are you fighting, let's say, only because of the esport, because of the fun, that's the one thing, but there's no higher purpose. And I think the story takes this part and make the purpose visible to the player, and the story, sound, and visuals make the emotion, and emotion is the thing that drives the players to the product.
Yeah.
So as always, to any product, of course, any product, if you are not thinking about the insurance, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but any retail product that's come into play that's creative, the emotion is the number one thing that everybody will look out for. And of course, humans are emotional species, so
Yeah.
that's what we need to do in the games to make it retainable for the future.
Yep. Agree. And how do you start out with building a story?
Like we start of course, like we try to create something unique, so we of course check all of the competitors, not just with the triple A but also with the double A or indie developers. We was always huge, like, more fascinated by the cyberpunk and potential dystopian future what's coming on. We can see how is the Europe going on, the governments, all of the stuff, corruptions going on all around. We got the difference, like COVID was around here and so and so. Now we can see a lot of the potential of the hyperinflation and so and so. So we can slowly see what's going on in the world, and we try to implement it inside the story.
Yeah.
And we try to think about what can be unique in the game. As David mentioned, Citizen Conflict as a franchise, as an IP, will have two separate titles: esports and MMO. And for the MMO, we implement a story where you got basically three syndicates.
Mm-hmm.
Three syndicates are owning the portion of the Ether Island, and they fight against each other. If they fight against the dominance of the Ether Island, they try to conquer each other. They are thinking who is the best, but in the end, behind them, it's just another government called the Order Meta, and all of the syndicate are just the puppies in the game. And the whole island is split for different districts. Each district is completely different, so it's kind of, you can imagine 10 different battle royale experience. So you got desert, then you got the military, then you got the I don't know, the dystopian city, then you got the oil refinery and some kind of working machines there. Then you got we also create one district according our capital city in the Bratislava, which we completely make one-to-one and rework to cyberpunk, and so and so. So it will be pretty amazing. So players will find different location, different visuals and ideas. You can use the vehicles, you can use the airplanes, so and so. So it will be pretty great experience. But this MMO will come after the competitive game modes.
Okay. I'm checking with Dave. Do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I wanted, but I forgot. But what I can tell, we were, as we said at the beginning, we are '90s kids. So when I think of the future, I think of Harrison Ford running around and catching the bad guys in the Blade Runner. So this was, we were heavily inspired by that, and we can see, and also Will Smith. Let's not forget about Will Smith and iRobot. That's what's coming up in September with Elon Musk and his new project. So we can take a look at the first piece or the new PC. So we can see that sci-fi was it's called science fiction, but the science is really important word in that place. And we can see that old science fiction novels came to life. And let's hope that not all will came like Will Smith stuff. Of course, the end is always good, but mostly in the movies. And we wanted to create our world that could be heavily impacted by these novels and the experience people like, but in some different way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. And of course, there are like a lot of different types of storytelling. So like branching stories, fallback storyline, a lot of different ones. How do you know which one you want to use for your game?
I'm so. What was the question? Like which kind of storyline?
Yeah, there are like different types of storylines. Do you like look into that, or you just like, we're just going in a way that we want to go?
Yeah, we do if I'm answering this right, we do a mixture of experiences in the game. Of course, the game is, I don't want to like brag about gaming industry, but I would say it's one of the hardest entertainment pieces that could be done, because it combine a lot of stuff. It's let's say real-time experience with audio visuals, graphics. It's kind of cinematography. It's also story-based. So there's a lot of going on at the same time. Also the UX UI experience. So basically you're combining like 5 to 6 things. Also all the entertainment stuff in one place. So it's to make a good game. It's pretty hard job, and we figured that we start with a storyline to really paint the picture of the Ether Islands, how it came to the state that it is right now, how people live there, what society is looking like at the moment, what really happened, how the government is fighting the people, and that's the naming citizen conflict. The citizen conflict is a rebellion against the power of the government, and we see it in the world all the time, mostly these days with the coronavirus and everything. The basically governments switched off the states and normal life because of the I don't want to put on my tinfoil hat right now, but we know right now it was a flu, and not super serious that we need to shut down the whole world at one time. But of course, that's my opinion, and we wanted to paint the picture how it could be. So we really try to show by the story the different location, different society status, how when you came to the Ether Islands, it's a secluded place. It's secluded from the mainland when most of the society lives at the moment, and Ether Islands is the place where society go wild, basically, where you can go and live your dream. Because in the mainland, there are rules that need to be followed. There are society classes. There is one class. There's basically a lower middle class that is fully controlled. It's like 1984 George Orwell kind of stuff. And in the Ether Islands, it's everything goes, basically. It's the heavy industry. It's the drugs, sex, money all the time. So it's basically like our world on steroids, let's say. So as I said, it goes and it's a super wild thing. And one of the most favorite types of entertainment is looking at the heroes that fight each other in the games. So those are the tournaments. And in the part 2, it will crumble down a little bit, and citizens will need to fight the power. And that's the MMO part where when we come to it, they will fight the power for their rights and their truth. So we take a lot of inspiration from let's say humanity or societal struggles.
Yeah. Okay. So we already got quite some information about the game, so later on I don't have anything to ask anymore because you already told me everything.
Show the trailer.
No, we're not there yet. Calm down. We're getting there. Okay. Okay, then I do want to know, can you tell us something about ending a story of a game? And it doesn't have to be exactly from your game, but like overall, what would be like to think about if you're ending a game? Or story in a game?
Definitely all of the people will die.
Oh,
and then some will survive as a zombie and start the zombie battle royale. So no, joking. Like definitely there is like it's an MMO. We try to build a persistent open world, and the branding is really important for us. And like David mentioned, the citizen conflict, as you can see, it's about the citizen against the government, back to take power back to the people, to the citizen. And it's really great connecting with the Web3 and technology and the ownerships, when the players can finally own piece of the game, when they own what they built inside the game, and the MMO will give you much more bigger potential to own something in the game, in the island, which is persistent. It makes much more sense like to have some skin and so you don't even own. So yeah, about the ending, I don't have. I always love the happy ending. So.
Okay, happy.
do not leak it.
No.
And endings overall are very important, but
happy endings are happy endings.
Yeah.
We're talking still about
And-
games, right?
Still in the game.
Yeah, of course,
Still in the game.
of course, games only on this show. So the endings is very important because it leaves the good or bad taste about the whole
Yes.
experience. Yeah, so in both cases. So for the gaming industry, it I don't
It
like
can go
open
both.
endings. I don't like open endings because
Oh.
you need to watch the 105 series on the Netflix to get to the end.
Yeah.
And they can always make a new one when somebody came to life or something like that. So I'm talking to you, how it's called, the Thrones thing. I was dying, man. When they died, they come up to life.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Game of Thrones. Game
Yeah.
of Thrones. Yeah. So our ending basically is never ending story for our game because the conflict goes on
Mhm.
until one faction wins. So that can happen.
Oh, but don't
and
say,
then-
don't say, because people should not know.
Yeah, and the game endings are important, but really depends where you take the game. So that's a climactic end, and the user or the player will mostly when he end the campaign will think about the last moment for sure. He will
Okay,
have
yeah.
the player will have some moments during the gameplay that really captured the essence of the game, and there was a good experience for him. But the end is really important, and when you leave a bad taste, it's really hard to get the player back to your franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about, was it, I'm Googling quickly. Oh yeah, Hellblade. Whoa, that was such a good game as well, and great story. Definitely something that got into your head because all the, like she heard voices and saw things and whatsoever. But that was also like this game that you're like, oh no, what's happening now? Like I can't wait to play the second one, right? So yeah, great game, really great game, and those games are the ones that it gets you hyped to go into a new one. Like it's a sort of open ending, but also not. Like it's okay, but something should not be fully open ending because then you're like, okay, all right, this was my life. Meh, it's not great.
Exactly.
It's just not what you
I just
want.
wasted 10 hours. of my life.
Exactly, yeah. So that's not what you want. But we're going into subject 2 because we're going to talk quickly about citizen conflict. Well, we already done it quite a bit, but for your blockchain game, Citizen Conflict, there is an extensive document on the storyline of the game. We're going to look at it now. There we go. It's very short. I have Ras in that you can see him. So we see a little bit of the conflict storyline, how it looks like.
Yeah, we can see that this is the whole story of the Itral and separate district. This is kind of like also visual navigation for the player. Each district is not just different by the visuals, resources and story behind the district, but also with the colors. So you can see when there is a kind of red colors, we will be easily navigating where you are because it's a really huge city around 40 kilometers square.
Mm-hmm.
And we try really navigate people and to create also like some kind of much more easy understanding of the districts and what is specified about it and so and so.
Yeah. Dave.
Yeah, so this is the background of the districts. That's very important. Also, maybe some pop culture reference. We were also heavily inspired. We like Justin Timberlake. Let's not kid. Russ.
Yep.
Don't need to
Who
be
didn't,
ashamed.
right? Yeah,
I
no.
was like boogieing all the time to Justin Timberlake, and he was in one movie that we really like, and it's called In Time.
Oh yeah.
And there was also, of course, the society was split to the districts, and there was a huge wall when you need to pay with your time to get through. And we really love this concept. There are a few games that try to capture it, but not really in the essence that we did in the citizen conflict. And each district is basically not only visually distinguished, but also there's a total different society. So it's really heavily society and value or money based. Where do you live?
Mm-hmm.
And coming up the district, you need to pay a hefty price. So it's like going to different neighborhoods basically.
Yeah.
And this was the inspiration for our stuff. Forget about the question. What was the question?
It's okay. I love this though. Like we're going from
Alright.
Justin Timberlake to whatever, but it,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
it's
was really pretty deep story, to be honest.
yeah.
Justin is
Not that deep.
no, it's really
It
deep.
is fine.
The money is the time. Basically, the most
Yeah.
crazy part of it that you work like crazy and you just work to get the time.
Okay.
So this is something also implement inside our game.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around, man.
Okay, and well, we kind of already heard a little bit of the process of the creating the storyline, because you already said like we kind of got in, information slash ideas from other games or Justin Timberlake or whatsoever. So
50
yeah.
Yeah, movie books, a lot of inspiration from the books, a lot of inspiration from the movies. We go like really all of the sci-fi, from the Blade Runner to Alter Carbon to Big in Time to different sci-fi movies and games, and of course the cyberpunk games. So it was like combination, and plus something what we think as a generation where we are really heading to. It's not nice future, to be honest. So this is what we try to create, and you can create your own story inside the game, and you can decide if you will own your story and if you make time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what were the challenges during the creation of the storyline? How did you overcome them?
Challenges are to make some synergy together as a creative team, because like you need to sound it's process. It takes time to create good storyline. Sometimes it looks that this is it, this is what we want, and you came next day, no, this is it, this is what we want. So biggest headache was definitely to find synergy between all of the creative people to create a storyline where we all are like, okay, this is fit the game. This is also the describe the game mechanics. We got the free teams, free syndicates. Okay, there is somebody hidden behind it. It's like, okay, so how the future generation, how the future could looks like. And it was really process. I think that it takes almost 2 years to create the storyline here, to really that all of our team members, creative team members, are satisfied with the
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really wanted to have all hands on deck with the team and go through every department. Of course, maybe the developer won't super mind about the storyline, but you need to have the team informed, and they need to be on board with a creative and what we do together. So their work is really also showcased, and when they are doing the test, they think about how it impacts the final product, because we see a lot of problems in the big teams and big companies that everybody doing their own thing. So one department is not speaking with a different department. They're only going through some managerial process when they are not talking with each other. We really try to communicate heavy with our team, with every department together, so there's everybody aligned in what we do, and then it's really showcased in their work, so they know what we are going for with them. We don't have to be very strict with super high description and super high control process, because they know exactly what we want to show the user at the end, and it's really showcased in their work every day.
Yep. Okay, and I want to know a little bit about the whole blockchain games and storylines, because doing a transaction in game to get hold of your NFT can break the immersion of participating in a game story. Is a good storyline helpful to get past this blockchain transaction step? So how can a storyline help blockchain games overall?
There is not such a things like blockchain games like this. We should definitely cut off from it's just the games, and it doesn't the gamers doesn't care about blockchain. It doesn't care about the transactions. They care about the good games. If it's somebody like to have the single player role playing game, somebody like to play multiplayer, and the drive and tractions coming from the game itself. So like we are not focusing on the blockchain, and so we try to create as minimum for as minimal as possible, forcing player to use the blockchain. Only way to achieve really and bring this billions player from the web 2 is through the high quality and competitive games like they are used to in the web 2, and just use the Web3 technology when they want to make extra money, like the monetization layer. We are thinking about the blockchain and Web3, like it's opening you additional layer to make money by playing the games. But if you are not familiar with you, if you don't want to use NFTs, nothing, you can still have fully immersive
Full experience.
with the
Yeah.
game, and that's our focus.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
This is exactly the point, and this is why we think that the game studio is special in this kind of way, because most of our competitors always talk about education. Like, education is important for sure, but let's do it in a way that it's seamless, and the players are not forced to be educated to work around the product. The product should be done in a way that it's straightforward, and the user know what he needs to know, basically, because we are not targeting some people that never had a Facebook account or something. We are targeting the person that is digitally educated, that is a fully Web2 user, that using Gmail, has a banking account or internet banking account, has a social media profile. So we want to get these users. We want to bring them the same onboarding experience like in any game. Today is really simple. You have one or several stores or providers like Epic Games, for example. You just download the game with one button. You just hit the next button to play it, and you are in game, basically.
Okay.
Then you go new game and or load. So it's really simple. We are going with the same approach with addition of Web3 layers. So if you want to use the features and the freedom of Web3 or the monetization of Web3, you are super welcome to, and incentivize, of course, also, because there's a lot to gain from Web3 and from blockchain. But it's also the same as any game that you've been playing before. So we don't want to hassle the player with overly complicated stuff, educating how to get NFTs to the game, paywalls, and everything that Web3 games and NFT games are known about. These are the problems that the studios need to figure out. We think that we find a pretty good solution to it. We make the experience in a way that players are super familiar with it. They can get into it really quickly. If they want, they can be educated in a very seamless way with the game.
Yeah, so in both ways, it's interesting for people who do want to get into it, or more like, no, I just want to play the game. And that's good, because then you keep it open for all the people. I'm going to switch quickly to the other screen, because meanwhile, we will see the trailer playing. There should be sound, but the thing is not... Oh, there we go.
Like this is some in-game gameplay from our internal testing, so we can see some environment inspired by the cyberpunk. You can see District and airfield.
Looks so cool.
This is also the South Moon, basically. There is various maps, and this is really, you can imagine this screenshot, there are just small portion of the whole city we are building, and we will be slowly releasing the districts by districts, different small maps. And yeah, this is really something you can experience inside the game. We are not a fan of the CGI trailers and showcase something what is not playable. We rather showcase what you can expect from the game.
It looks so good, if I may
so
say so. Like, it's really something, like, if I see this, I'd reckon, like, yeah, I really would like to play it. So I play mainly Apex Legends, and for me, what's important when I do any shooting or whatever, it has to feel smooth. This looks like
we can be in the squad together.
Yeah, this looks like it's really smooth, and that's why I like. That's something that is for me interesting. Also, the way how this looks is also a bit like, for me, when I look at it, right, as a non-knowing about this game, Apex Legends feeling. But although this is more like, science fiction way, but it has the same idea of the graphics, and I really like that. It's the same that people play a Fortnite. There's a certain way how it's made. It's the same with Warzone. For me, it's way too small and too tiny and everything. But this is perfect in between the real stuff, but also the animated things.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Like we want to like give a various to the player, to the community, because like Web3 gaming should be about the community, about building the games for the community. To really, we want to really build something what these AAA studios don't do, like communicate with the community. Do you like it? You prefer the smaller map? You prefer 2 teams, 3 teams? We really want to test as many game modes and environment as possible. Like our main inspiration are the hero shooters like Apex and Overwatch, but with a high realistic graphic, with cyberpunk style, something like Battlefield, Call of Duty, but with this hero. Because in the end, there is so many competitive games. We want to bring the fun. Like Fortnite is a really great experience that it's fun. It's fun. Even it's cartoonish, even it's for the kids, but it's super cool and fun. And we want to create something between the competitive and fun gameplay with really visuals, mechanic. You will enjoy in the gameplay, you will enjoy the movement, you will enjoy the environment. So we also get inspiration, as I said, one of the capital city, as you can see, the Bratislava. We are now watching the Bratislava, which is our capital city, castle, radio tower, the government house. We take it, we reskin it to the cyberpunk, and we really try to bring kind of a Gotham City atmosphere inside the cyberpunk. So it's really like a government, you know.
It looks super cool.
Thank
like
you.
I almost forget that I do have some questions, but I'm just looking at the trailer like, oh, this is cool. I have it already on repeat, so then I can ask questions that people can look at it in the meanwhile. So why did you decide to create this specific game? And also, Dave, we do not see you, but we do hear you. So if you want to step in.
I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay, then you can step in. So yeah, why did you decide to create this specific game?
To really like esports and fun, and we are thinking, we really think about this, how to use the leverage this blockchain technology, because what is the most uniqueness is really this distribution power that you can get directly from the game to the player. You can get the directly rewards, and all of the players in community can really own these assets. So if you buy something in the game, you can own it. And yeah, we are heavily focused on the high quality game, and this Web3 technology ownerships is something we are really looking for. That this will be really the next generation game will be still the games, but giving the power back to the players, to the community, and this is why we choose it, because this is what we're missing. You can be Apex, you can play Overwatch, but you don't own it. You don't have these assets. So, and you can even make some, ideas for the studio. They don't care. We won't care. We won't communicate with the users and community.
Yeah. Exactly. Sorry to jump in.
Don't worry. No, I was just quickly at a question, because I see some different locations. Is it like, because it's a world, so you can go around, but like if you're doing a match, or is it also like, because you say PvP, like esports, is it also really like a sort of match that you're like playing on one certain part of the map, and a death match or whatever?
Exactly. The map for the competitive, it's basically piece of the whole world.
Okay.
So if you will be play competitive game modes, it's just a piece for the whole world. It's basically fit and adjust according the game mechanics and the levels and game modes. Mm-hmm. But in the end, it's the piece of the whole world we are building. And just the MMO build, which is like MMO shooter, citizen conflict, will be like the whole city, and it will be epic.
Yeah. Well, Dave, stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you. As Russ said, I just wanted to circle back to the monetization, because that's one of the differences between Web3 gaming, let's say, and normal gaming. We figure out what's the way how it can be sustainable, and we saw a lot of tries. Nobody did it right until this point. We thought that the one way how we can work with the community, and we can level up the playing field and give back to the community, of course, because that's why we are here, to have the community and nurture it. We think about the tournament system. We think we got it pretty good at this point, and the tournament system will be the place where the players are rewarded and where the monetization ladder comes to the place. But there is no token involved in the game, no heavy trading on NFTs. There are no paywalls. We need to say the game is free to play, and we really want to incentivize the user-generated content. And in the future, the players, this is just a showcase of 2 maps,
Mm-hmm.
and in the future, players will be able to do their own maps, and if any tournament is played on the map, they are able to get a piece of the cake. So we really want to incentivize not only the players
Mm-hmm.
as it's themselves, or the esport teams that we work with, or others that will the join the cause,
Yeah.
but really incentivize everybody from the gaming community. For the starters, it will be the environmental or 3D designers. It will be really easy to make a map. If you ever build an Unreal Engine or something, we have a community-based event where players will be able to try these maps, and community will vote which map they want to put in the circulation to the rank mode.
Mm-hmm.
And if these maps are in the circulation, and if any paid match or tournament is being played there, they always get a reward in form of the stable coins. So
Okay.
this is, we think, the way forward, and this is how the content should work. It's user generated content. We saw it in the Roblox. It really works. It's the way forward. And also we try to level up the playing field with the game. Not going We are going competitive, of course. We have a special tournament, special modes for that, but for the casual player, what is really important, we try to make it super randomized. We have a lot of game mechanics that are fun, and make every game special and every game different. So you won't be I would say breaking your monitor when you are losing in a Fortnite, because Fortnite also did this change, and it helped them to when they went from super highly competitive to good and casual for everybody. So we want to bring these both worlds together.
Yeah. Well, perfectly said. And I was super drawn into the trailer. It looks super good. Big ass grats for you guys because it's great. One last question. What is the most exciting thing of the game, if you may say so?
For me, a lot of stuff, but if I should pick just one and don't answer like a politician, so for me it will be definitely movements. I'm really excited what we are building with the movements, and what is our vision for the final product, to make something unique for the experience, for all of the amazing stuff we are building there. I will pick movements,
Okay.
and let's see how you will like it.
And Dave?
Yeah, I would say the movement is the game mechanic I wanted to mention, but as a whole game, I think the tournaments and the structure as we are going to introduce them are really important, and I think this will be a game changer not only for Web3 but also for some Web2 games. As we say in Corpo, we want to democratize esports, and I think that we are on a good path to do it.
Okay. And when can people start playing the game?
So I can answer this one. We have a alpha test, the second iteration, coming up by the end of the month.
Okay.
So I would advise everybody that would like to try Citizen Conflict to go to register to our Corp ID, and they will be able to get whitelisted and try Citizen Conflict themselves. And also, of course, the first tournament will be also available this iteration, so you can also try being competitive and win in our Citizen Conflict tournaments.
That's cool. That's really cool. And yeah, for everyone in the chat or when you're listening to this, there is a giveaway for the closed alpha keys for Citizen Conflict, 10 alpha keys. What you have to do is follow at Citizen Conflict and at PvP Game Hub on Twitter, and share one of the posts about this live show with the hashtags #CitizenKey and #PvP Game Hub. So that's how you'll be able to win. Well, and if you want to contact Citizen Conflict or one of today's guests, what's the easiest way that they can reach out to you guys?
You can just go ahead to our Twitter account and hit us up in the comments anywhere. We are very active on the social media, but of course we are also active on our own personal profile.
Yep,
Twitter is for sure the best way.
All right, we see it in the chat already, so that's perfect.
Also the inbox.
Okay.
Send us the letter. Send us the letter.
I want to thank you both very much for today, that you guys were in the show. I'm very excited about the game, very looking forward to it, and I definitely want to take a look at it myself. So thank you guys once again. I wish you much luck for the game and for many games to come. And of course, instead of the whole football career, Ras, I hope to see you in the career of the gaming industry in fully on. So thank you so much. So with that said, I'm doing a little wavy again. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
And
it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And thank you as well, Ras and Dave.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
And ending with this, that's it. Now you can see me very big in your screen again. The topic for the next show will be announced very soon, so stay tuned. But we can already unravel that we'll have one of our new partners on in the next one. So that's quite interesting. And later this week, today's episode will be available on YouTube and podcast platforms like Spotify and Amazon and Apple Music. So if you want to listen to this back or even look at it back, you can watch it back on YouTube or listening to it Spotify, Amazon or Apple Music. So with that said, I put away my papers. I had a great show. Hope you guys did too. It was lovely to have these two guests in the show because that game looks fantastic and I'm rooting for them and for the game. So thank you all once again. I'm out. I'm going to have some dinner now and I hope to see you all in probably 2 weeks again. And have a great night or morning or day, depends where you're from. But see you guys later. Ciao, ciao.